I'm back to talk about our early childhood support professional that we put in our classrooms just about 1 year ago today, and why your teachers are struggling and how they could be benefited and helped so much and supported by this position in your organization. I'm going to talk to you about how we are going to be able to sustain and pay for this position in the years to come. So stick around. We know in early childhood, this is a tough gig. How can you figure out how to put a new position in your early childhood program? That position can save you, your teachers, your classroom, your program, time and money. So this individual would also be a great substitute to be coming into your classroom. If you have that person, find them. So just 1 year ago, we applied for our early childhood education support professional position through the Circle Grant. We were awarded $45,000, which paid for salary, materials for classrooms, and some additional support and training for staff. And now let's talk about how we're going to be able to afford that position moving forward. We know in early childhood, this is a tough gig. Teachers go home all the time, stressed out, struggling. They need breaks throughout the day because they're under so much of a load. At the same time, it's so enjoyable. But how can you figure out how to put a new position in your early childhood program, preschool, childcare, whatever kind of program you're running, and to support your teachers, your children, and your families, and your entire program, and be able to afford that extra salary? Could you just add an extra staff at $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year? Maybe not. That's not in a lot of budgets, but I'm going to show you how to multitask this person and how to really sneak that into your budget, because ultimately that position can save you, your teachers, your classroom, your program, time and money. Hey, while I'm doing this, I'm going to take you around one of our preschool classrooms, very non-traditional classroom, so that'll be my backdrop. All right, so ultimately, this role was simply to come in and provide one-on-one support for some of our children that just need more support, to identify needs, to focus on parent meetings, to focus on solutions, on behavior plans or strategy plans or success plans, whatever you call them in your program, to help train staff and teachers. This is a role that a director would typically take in a program, or assistant director. Well, we had this unique opportunity to create this with Ms. Shale. We are so excited that we're going to be able to continue this. So coming into this position, I knew that Ms. Shale, or this position, would need to be able to have a lot of lateral responsibilities. So think of this position, if you're going to think about adding it to your program, as a bit of an assistant administrator. Key number one position is get in there and support your program. We talked in a lot of other videos about what the characteristics of this person would be. I don't want to talk about that today. I do want to talk about lateral movement. So for this position for us, we began immersing them in the classroom, number one, to kind of find those hot spots in our programs. Kids that were struggling, staff that were struggling, staff that were burned out, finding solutions that hadn't been come to, those kinds of things, and working through all that. But then in those quiet moments, and we all have nice quiet moments where we're like, and we're waiting for something to happen. Somebody's going to fall, something's going to crash, there's going to be some kind of emergency we got to get to. But when that's not happening, and you hear that beautiful sound of crickets, then take this individual lateral movement, give them some administrative responsibilities. Now, my guess is this person, like Michelle, is a classroom teacher first. She's not an administrator. She does not love sitting at a computer and grinding numbers and spreadsheets and making phone calls and collections and all that kind of stuff. So find tasks that they can do in that office that can take some of the lighter weight potentially off your director. This is going to be so important, and you'll begin to grow those responsibilities over time as they can take on more and more. This is one way you're going to be able to afford this position, because your director is running 120 miles an hour, Mach 10. I don't know how fast Mach 10 is, I wonder. Anyway, they're running like crazy with their hair on fire, so they need that extra support. There's always light duty, filing. There could be returning phone calls. There could be adding people to the waiting list. That could be cleaning up some files. You could train them on staff files or teacher files or other files, maybe on the food program or other types of administrative duties that are what you might consider easier, lighter work that requires smaller training to be able to help them begin to take some load off your administrator. Unlike programs that like to run really lean, I understand the run lean policy, right? Accomplish more things with fewer people. But the reality is when you give your director, your admin team some additional support and help, as long as everybody's on task, those are projects that need to get done. And it also gives you the opportunity to give your administrative team some time off. And when they do have time off, now this individual is going to be able to step into that office. They're comfortable with the phones. They're comfortable with handling parents and addressing some things in the program. And now you've got a backup director, administrator that can step in. This is so important. This is number 2. You got to be able to give your administrative team some time off, cover that successfully so that you always aren't having to jump in for them. Another possibility is that this person has some kind of superhero characteristic or strength that you didn't realize. So ask them. I recently had a staff member and ask others as well that was good at writing. So we put them on grant writing. Hey, what's up, Keegan? So find skills that can help and add duties, responsibilities that your program is possibly lacking. The other thing I want you to think about, which is an obvious one, but substitute. So this individual would also be a great substitute to be coming into your classroom when you have a staff call out the last minute. Because how many times is it that director that's stepping in and doing that? So now you've got a full-time, this isn't a floater, but an opportunity to step into that classroom, giving, again, your staff great support and your admin some needed substitution ability. Because as an owner, I can tell you that when I have dropped into a classroom to fill in, whether it's for 5 minutes or for 5 hours, I learn more about what's going on in that classroom by just being immersed in those daily responsibilities in that classroom. So key role, key experience, key opportunity for your ECE Support Professional to be able to step in and sub throughout your program through all of the classrooms. Huge benefit. Again, saving you money. You've got to be paying some staff member to be in there. Now you've already got your ECE on payroll and they're saving you money, making that work. Most importantly, I hope you like the tour of our preschool classroom. But most importantly, I want you to really consider finding that person in your program that is deserving of this position, that's ready for that promotion, that can really impact your team in a positive way, can pull people together. Give them that promotion. They may be a teacher first. They may not be out of that classroom and in the ECE Support Professional. That might be their second role. But find somebody and give them that step so that when you have the ability to cover them in a classroom, they can step out and help other classrooms. It's a key individual that can coach and that can support and share without needing their own classroom and their own space. So if you have that person, find them, give this a shot. If you have additional ideas or comments on other duties, responsibilities, ways that we can use that position, make sure you share that in the comments of this video so that other participants that are taking this course can benefit as well. All right, guys, thank you and have a marvelous day.